Hello, Daniel Jacobson. Thank you for coming today and hopping on the pod.
Chris, happy to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just tell everyone just a little bit about what you do, where you grew up, and what interests you.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, thank you so much, Chris, for having me on here.
welcome.
Super grateful. I love men talk and getting dialed in on your mental health and everything. So I'm from here. I'm from West Jordan, Utah. I grew up here, and what I love to do is I love coaching. I love helping people. So I have a business. It's MindFit, and it's all about fitness and psychology and mental health. Like I love seeing people overcome barriers, which is my favorite thing to see probably. And then I love sports. Everything's sports. Ball. I don't like running. Running is the worst.
I get that. I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Give me a ball though and a purpose and objective. Great. I'm doing great.
Handling business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get it. Tell us a little bit about like you mentoring, because that's something that I want to get into.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing you have a person from where they're at and then taking them to their end goal or whatever they want to be. So tell us what your experience has been with that.
Yeah. The first thing I'd say is life is a journey, and everybody has their own path that they need to take. So there's two different perspectives, right? There's the mentor themselves, the coach themselves, and the journey they go on. And then there's the journey that the client goes on. And a lot of times they're almost exactly the same path.
Mm-hmm.
You're just 2 years ahead. Do you like Ed Milet? Do you know Ed Milet?
Yeah.
Tony Robbins. Okay.
Yeah. Tony Robbins. Yeah. I've heard of both of them. Yeah.
All those big guru guys.
Yeah.
So Ed Milet, he has a quote. I love it. It is, "You are uniquely qualified to help the person whom you once were." Take who you were 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever, and that's who you're supposed to be helping. You're supposed to be guiding that person. So that's the person I look at is, what would I have wanted 5 years ago to get help with? I would have loved more help with fitness, understanding how to go to the gym and do stuff, and then how to know how my mind works and operates and control my emotions and thoughts.
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. So with that being said, what have been some of like, let's take it back for you. Let's take it back for 5 years of things that you needed. And then how you went from the journey from 5 years up until now.
Yeah. So 5 years ago, that's actually where everything started for me. Was I was serving a mission.
Okay.
And I ended up getting sent home dishonorably. A bunch of stuff happened and I had to go home early. And my entire life, that was my goal. That was my passion. That was my dream, was to serve people and to uplift and bless and serve. And it was ripped away from me. And I was left with this void of, I have no purpose. I have no passion. I have nothing to fulfill my need as a man. As I need to provide. I need to do something. And so having that all taken away, I had to go through the journey of finding something new, something different that I can pursue. So my motto, my philosophy within MindFit is that life is passion, and you need to be willing to suffer for what your purpose is. So finding that purpose is going to happen through the suffering. Yeah, that's pretty much it there.
Yeah, I got you. And through the suffering from like the 5 years ago until now, what would you say? I'm like, are you a person that's like content with where you're at? Or are you like satisfied, or does it look like there's so much more that I got to do to get to this other place?
Yeah, I love the vocabulary that you use there. Are you satisfied? Are you content? My dad always taught me, you are content, but never satisfied.
Okay.
So that way, like, you can be happy with where you're at. No matter where you're at, you can be in the worst position of your entire life, and you can be content about it. Mm-hmm. Just knowing that, hey, whatever faith you have, that everything's going to be all right for you. But you're not satisfied with where you're at. Like, you want to progress. You want to get better.
Like continuous improvement is what, like, I wish, when I say continuous improvement, it always goes back to a work thing, because there's always continuous improvement with the business. What I'm trying to get at with that is, we don't put that in our lives. We don't say that in our individual lives. Like, I've never had a conversation with any of my friends, family members, let's continuously improve on XYZ. It's like we're always doing something outside of ourselves for someone else, especially in the workforce, which is so crazy to say, right? And to think. So tell us, so MindFit, right? So how did you come up with the brand name? Because I looked at the logo on your page and I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah. One thing too? Did you create it yourself or did you pay?
I created it myself.
Dude,
I made it
give
myself.
me that. Give me that. I did the same thing with Men Talk.
Yeah.
Skylar, he actually did the finishing touches on it, rearranged it. And for a minute, and I'll be honest, for a minute I was like, he better not. And then I was like, oh, this looks really good. It makes more sense, the meaning behind it. So thank you. I appreciate it. So tell me.
Coming up with MindFit, I knew I wanted this to be the logo. It's an M over an F with a little space in the F.
Yeah.
And because it looks like a math sign. So M stands for mind, and then over, and then that's the little symbol means matter. So mind over matter.
Okay.
And that's always been my life philosophy of your brain. So my specialty is psychology, right? I got my degree in psychology. And so the brain is, have you studied the placebo effect? Like, I haven't. Much of it, very much. So really quick explanation of the placebo effect is somebody can have let's say you have a torn ACL or something wrong with your knee. Mm-hmm. They had two groups of people. One of them got actual surgery on their knee and they got everything fixed. Another group of people had their knee just cut open to look like it had surgery, but the surgery was never actually performed. But because that person woke up and saw the incision, they believed that their knee was healed. And so after 6 weeks, the two groups, both their knees were healed, whether you actually got the surgery or didn't.
Interesting.
Right. So your mind is so powerful, and whatever you believe within your reality will become true. So that's part of the placebo effect. So that's why the M is over that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's weird that the brain is so powerful in so many ways to the point I just don't think any of us understand it fully. So tell us, you mentioned you graduated in psychology. Where'd you go?
I went to BYU.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Tell us about the program that they have down there and like why. You told us your why of what you're doing. But like, how did you fall into it? Because you take all your curriculums and all that. Mm-hmm. Is that something you always wanted to do?
I originally wanted to do physical therapy. Okay. For my love of sports, gotcha. I just wanted to go and I wanted to be around athletes. I wanted to help heal injuries. Yeah. And then while I was on my mission, I learned that I loved to sit and counsel with people. Yeah. Like just what we're doing right now. I love this. This is so much fun. And I'm sure you enjoy it as well.
It's a lot of fun.
It's just great. You get to learn and meet new people. But anyways, I was like, how can I put those two together? And one day me and my friends were just talking. They're like, have you ever heard of sports psychology? And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What is that? Because it was a new field. Nobody had ever talked about it before. It was like barely up and coming. And so I was like, wait, I can put the two worlds together. I can do psychology and physiology, sports, and put it together. That's the program that I went through, was performance psychology and exercise physiology.
Okay.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was great. The teachers there, the professors are underpaid for the amount of value that they bring, for sure.
Tell us like some of the people that like you've worked with or mentored, like what are some of the things that you see as like a gap in performance? Is it things that lack of performance has like held them back since trauma in childhood or things like that? What does that look like in your experience?
So I'll tell a story of just one of my clients, and I won't say names.
Yeah, of course.
They were struggling a ton with their mindset, with their beliefs about themselves. They were going through a divorce at the time. And obviously that kind of a situation just breaks you down mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. You're just breaking down. And I started to work with them. The first step within my coaching program is we have to master your body first, get through your physiology and understand what's happening in your body. They hated going to the gym. They didn't like exercising or lifting weights or anything, but I was like, if you want to get better, you have to understand your body, and that's going to be the best way you can understand your body.
Yeah.
And so they started to go through that process, and I had worked with them for a while, and just a few weeks ago, they lost their job. And so they're just getting hit and hit. Yeah. But he texted me, he's like, you know what, man? my mindset has completely changed. A few years ago, this would have destroyed me and I wouldn't have been able to get back up. But now
It's powerful.
I feel resilient. I feel like I have grit. I feel like I can get over this, and that my mindset has completely shifted. And so that's probably the biggest change that I see people have is their mindset towards trials in life.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm sure that felt rewarding for you, right? Not just obviously with the person you're working with, but like your work is now manifested to this person wasn't in a place and then now they're more resilient than they ever were. How'd that make you feel?
Great, man. The work, you know how running a business is, right? It's so hard to keep going and have faith that, oh my gosh, this is all going to work out.
Yeah.
You get hit, you get back up, you get hit, you get back up. So
right.
To have somebody else experience a hit and to get back up from the coaching was like, oh, it works. It works. You just got to keep moving forward.
Yeah. Consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a big thing too.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you this real quick.
Yeah.
I've been holding this one for a couple of minutes.
You're good.
Who were you 5 years ago that you would want to get advice from and help?
Who was I 5 years ago? I was not a confident person. Wasn't at all, if I'm being completely honest with you. Myself, it was just compromised in any capacity. I didn't love myself. Always had issues with my body. I'm pretty sure I had body dysmorphia. Had issues with my skin color of trauma in the past. I don't know. 5 years ago, I was a stranger to myself. And I think what overcame that is I did therapy. I hopped around with people, just finding the right fit and made it intentional where it's like, I'm going to find this person, and was consistent about it. And then I'd been seeing her ever since. Intentionally suck out a white woman, just for certain reasons. Yeah. And I think just through the end, being intentional every session, writing things down, things I want to talk about, going in with a purpose, and then have the outcome to be better than what I did going in there, each session.
So is that who you're trying to serve?
Yeah.
Then?
Yeah. There's a lot of us. It's not just men. It's men talk, but the focus is men. There's just a lot that we don't talk about, a lot that's just not discussed. And I think if we can just bring it to the forefront, we can just be better just for ourselves, and that's just going to trickle down to the people that are around. So I have a big thing that I like to say. Not a big thing I like to say, and I just thought about it recently, is I want to shift the earth, meaning I want to make a shift in the way that we all think about ourselves and take a time out for ourselves to reflect and be able to look in the mirror and just say, look, I love you. Because I think that's important.
So step one for you was finding help.
Finding help.
An outside person to be able to get help.
Yeah, for sure.
And now your confidence is good.
Yeah. It's not 100%.
Oh,
right?
Everybody has moments, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah. Yeah. And some of the journeys that I hear are just that, like just overcoming self and overcoming their limits. Yeah.
That reminds me really quick.
Yeah. And you can ask any questions you want to.
Yeah. Another person that I was working with, they ended up going through a whole transformation, but they got a tattoo. It says, "The truth will make you free."
Yeah.
So you have to look in the mirror and you have to be truthful with yourself.
Right.
So that sounds like what you did.
Yeah.
You just took a good look, like, dude, I'm lacking confidence. I feel this way. I need help. So you're being truthful with yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I'm a really big fan of like music. And I think that's one thing that like helped me just shift and get my mind off of, not just get my mind off of like things in the past, but like, allowing myself to like have my own opinions about art, because it's subjective. You could take a lyric and have it mean what you want it to mean. A picture of an art piece, right? There's a Mac Miller, I forget the song, but it's one of like my favorite lines that he has. It's helped me a lot. And it says, keep your eyes to the skies, never glued to your shoes. So for me, what that means is no matter how hard the day is, look up. Like you can only see so much on the ground, right? Looking up, you can see the things around you that are beautiful. You can see the sun popping out of the clouds. You can see all these things. Like it's going to be fine. It's going to be okay. Just stay 10 toes down and just walk forward and just make sure that you're doing the best you
Like
can.
beautiful lyric. What kind of music do you think helps you the most?
Rap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Rap. Really any music, but that's what I just listen to the most.
Yeah.
There's a few select artists that I like listen to that have a layer of depth that I don't think a lot of people will catch or understand.
Is it like the inspirational type of stuff that has like lines like that are like keep going, keep moving forward?
It's not even that. There's a Kendrick Lamar. He has an album called Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Whole song's it's like a therapeutic album. Like literally, there's a track in there. You're not gonna go line for line, but he's take away the status, take away your jewelry, take away your cars, take away literally everything that is making you that people perceive, right? Take that all away. Who are you without it? Who are you? What can you give? What are you able to give without those things?
Yeah, we are our things.
Yeah.
We're our actions.
Yeah.
We're who we are.
So it's like, I said this in a different podcast. It's like, look at yourself in the mirror and can you tell yourself that you love you? Can you say, I love you? So.
Make it very genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like what you said a second ago as well with, what was the line? Keep your eyes off your shoes.
Yeah, what was it?
eyes off your shoes in the sky.
Oh, yeah.
Something about keeping your eyes up and being aware.
Yeah.
But he said it more beautifully.
But keep your eyes to your skies never glued to your shoes.
Eyes in the sky is never glued to your shoes. Okay.
Yeah.
And you talked a second about just like awareness, being mindful of the sunrise or nature or your family that you have around you. Just being aware of your present moment, being in the present moment is also very powerful for finding self-love and confidence. For sure.
I wish people understood that too. I wish they did, because life would just be so much, it would just be different. Not saying it's better, but just being aware of everything around you.
Do you do any like mindfulness practices to help out with that? Or?
I think again, it just goes back to music. That's what I've always, and the gym is another thing. I was divorced about 5 years ago. Got divorced 5 years ago. Didn't have a job. I was like alone. I made it intentional to get up, make my bed, get to the gym, 5 a.m. every single day. Because I knew if I stayed at home, wouldn't get anything done. My bed wouldn't be made. I wouldn't have those small wins to stack those days.
What gave you the idea to stack small wins?
That's funny that you asked that. I don't think I've told anybody this. So I did a dev camp, a coding boot camp. And his name is Brady. And I'd come in every day in the morning, mosey on in like the last guy in the class. And he's like, hey, are you winning? And I'm like, what? I was like, dude, you've been saying this shit for 2 months. What do you mean? And he's, no, are you winning? Are you winning the day? And I don't think he like, maybe this is what he was like trying to get at, maybe he was just saying it to say it. But I took it as, just count your little wins during the day to stack your day. So it's, hey, I made my bed. Hey, I got in the shower, washed, did my things, got to the car, got to work on time. So it's like reflecting back literally every day and counting those wins. I'm like, hey, like today was like a really good day. Today was like great. So it's like the next day, same thing. Made it different, right? But hey, I didn't do this today, but I also did this other thing that got me to where I am. So it's like literally winning the day, stacking the days, and then so on and so forth.
So that's because somebody else asked you, hey, are you winning today?
He's, hey, are you winning? And I didn't, and maybe that's what he was like meaning. But then I like took like more thought into it, and I started like putting more action into it. But at the beginning, I'm like, dude, stop asking me this question because I'm not getting it.
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned making your bed
Yeah.
as one of the steps.
Yeah.
Because there's a book. It's literally called Make Your Bed. And that's the whole principle. Are you a big reader? Do you read books very much?
Yeah, off and on. I could be better.
Oh,
I buy these books, I'll read like half, and then I'll get busy. But.
I turned into a big reader after studying psychology and stuff. But with the principles you're saying, it's so funny because all the principles are the exact same. They're just worded differently to be able to hit different audiences. It's like Making Your Bed, Atomic Habits are a couple of books that all give that exact same principle of every single day, get up and stack wins.
Yeah.
It can be as small as brushing your teeth, putting your clothes on the right way, like going out to the driveway. Like you can make them so small.
Yeah.
Do you follow Jordan Peterson?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do. He's very interesting.
He is very interesting. I don't believe everything he says, right? But
I mean,
there's one thing that he says in his book, 12 Rules for Life, and it's start with the corner of your room. Meaning if you have a really dirty room, just start with just the corner and then work your way from there. Yeah. You can't look at the whole thing and try and do it all at once. You have to, okay, now we'll make our bed. Now we'll move and we'll organize the drawer. Now we'll just one by one, step by step. Yeah.
That's how, I like that you said that because that's how I see the gym when because I played sports throughout my life. I've lifted, but I didn't really get into it until after I was divorced. It was really hard to get to the gym some days. And I went and I would go for 15, 20 minutes. I'm like, hey, I'm not going to go home. I'm just going to sit here for a little bit and just chill because I have nowhere to go. And then on top of then the next days would be more time. And then it's got consistent where it's to the point where it's with the way my life is, there's days I can't go, but it's weird when a week is gone. If I'm not sick and I haven't gone to the gym, something is going on. Mm-hmm. Something's the mental's not.
Yeah, it's what's happening right now?
It's what's happening right now.
I was just on vacation last week and I didn't go to the gym all week. And you're just whoa.
You're dude.
Is everything okay? Yeah. I feel that for sure.
Yeah. So that's where, life can get ahead and also can be behind a bit too.
There's so many good principles that you can learn from the gym as well. Always going to failure in order to gain strength, or even just starting out really small, just building the habit of I'm going to go to the gym for 20 minutes today, and then tomorrow I'm going to go 30 minutes, and tomorrow I'm going to go 40 minutes, and the next day I'm going to go 50 minutes, and then eventually you've built a habit and a characteristic of, and you believe, oh, I'm a gym goer. I go to the gym. And now it's weird if you don't go to the gym. Yeah. So that's habit stacking. Yeah. And then just getting reps in and pushing your body to its limits. There's so many good lessons from the gym.
Okay. Now I need some advice here.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting I don't know if I'm getting stagnant at the gym because I'll work out, I'll still feel sore. Mm-hmm. But I'm at a point where I'm maintaining, I do want to get bigger. I'm not lifting as heavy as I want to. I'm lifting heavy. But I'm not pushing myself as much as I could be. There's that block there.
Do you think it's a mental block?
Yeah, I would say.
So your muscles have two types of fatigue, primary fatigue and secondary fatigue. Primary fatigue is actually first psychological. So let's say you're doing a bicep curl, right? Yeah. So this is just the science behind it, right? So you're doing a bicep curl. Let's say the bicep is 50% tired. You're mentally going to believe that the bicep is done, that you literally physically cannot do anymore. That's primary fatigue. Okay. And you're going to literally feel like you can't do another rep. But the muscle itself actually is only around 50% to its total position past failure. So it really is just a mental block. So how to get over the mental block? Oh man, there's so many processes to
break it down because
to go through.
Not only there's a lifting mental block, I think there's a mental block I have in my life where it's there's just this thing inside of me that I cannot hurdle and I don't know what the hell it is.
Do you run?
I don't.
Okay, go.
Closest thing to running is basketball and playing hockey. That's all I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I like to bike. I like to bike at the gym.
Okay. If you want to get mentally tough, just run.
Run.
Literally just go for a run and just go as far as you can. And
I've heard about this.
yeah. Like David Goggins. Or we have a local guy, James Lawrence, the Iron Cowboy, where you're just running, but it's so much you're alone with your thoughts, and you go 10 miles. Your body could go 30, but you feel like you're done. So you just have to force yourself to keep going. So, I mean, try running.
I've heard, and tell me, and I want to know why this happens and what this is, because I was dating someone and she just ran a lot. And she ran, I think she may have, I can't remember, could have ran in college, but ran in high school for sure. She says, it was like, I was done with like basketball or whatever sport. And I went to go to track and run. And I was just dead tired. So by the 6th mile, she's like, all of that went away. It's like, it felt like it was really hard to get to the 6th mile. But after that, it just... she's like, I could run forever. It felt like
the runner's high.
What is that? Explain. Help me understand how that works.
Yeah,
that's mind blowing to me.
It's really cool. So the runner's high, I feel it all the time too. Like in my first couple miles of a run, it's, oh, dude, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore.
I want to go home.
My legs are tired. I can't breathe.
Yeah.
This is just bad. But eventually, so your body gets through a state of periodization where you're going to get to a point where your fatigue matches your actual physiological response.
Okay.
And so basically you're just used to the situation that you're in. And so once your like fatigue matches your physiological state, then you get a release of dopamine. So dopamine and adrenaline, which will go throughout your entire body. Dopamine is your hormone for motivation. A lot of people think dopamine is for happiness. Serotonin is for happiness. Dopamine is for motivation. So you get dopamine and adrenaline. And then the other thing that happens is your sympathetic nervous system is firing on all levels. And you're now no longer in primary fatigue. You're in secondary fatigue. So now you have that. That's why it's called a second wind.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So for the audience, can you break down serotonin, dopamine, and the sympathetic
nervous system? Yeah.
Nervous system.
Yes. Yeah.
In the like basic way possible, but like in detail, if that makes sense.
So this is actually one of the first things that I teach my clients, actually, is the difference between the systems in your body. Yeah. So your body has two main functions. I'm sure you've probably heard of like fight or flight response, right? So there's two different kinds of the systems. There's fight or flight, and then rest and digest. The way I like to remember it is the first one, fight or flight, is your sympathetic nervous system. The rest and digest is the parasympathetic nervous system. I like to think of parachute. So what does a parachute do? A parachute helps you to slow down. And then the sympathetic is for speed. So it helps you to go fast. You can manipulate this within your body depending on the situation that you're in. If you're about to do an interview like we're doing right now, or you're about to get up on stage and speak, or you're going to give a presentation to a class, or you're going to ask that girl out on a date, right? And you're feeling nervous. That's because your sympathetic system is starting to be activated. And so the way you need to deactivate it and go into the parasympathetic nervous system. So that's ways you can use breath work. So slow down your breath. Take slow, deep breaths. And that is going to help your nervous system and your heart rate to slow down. And it's going to release more dopamine and serotonin. But if you're about to go into a competition and you need your adrenaline, like you're about to play in a football game or a basketball game or something, you can do slow or quick, fast breaths.
Yeah.
So now that's going to get the opposite chemicals of adrenaline and cortisol, which is going to help you to perform. Sorry if that was too much into there.
No, not at all. Dude.
Yeah, kind of a basic difference between the two.
That's interesting. That is interesting. So that's a lot to digest right there. Because
I could keep going on it.
I'm a big thinker. So once I'm like hearing information, I'm like, I'm gonna think about this for a while now.
Yeah.
So do you coach powerlifting or no? You mentor in that, or do you?
No, not
Okay.
specifically. No.
So being on the psychology side of all of it, how do you feel about the creatines, the energy drinks,
Mm-hmm.
the do's, the don'ts?
Yeah.
Where do you stand with all that?
First of all, creatine is the number one most studied drug in all of sports or
Yeah.
fitness, gym area category. Very safe, very good. But the other thing that people don't know about creatine is, yes, it does help you grow your muscles. It does have water retention, and it does increase ATP storage within your muscles. That's the fitness side of it. But the other thing people don't know is that creatine is also a neurotropic. So what that means is that it can go between the blood-brain barrier, and it actually increases cognitive functions. So it helps you to think better.
Interesting.
So creatine, that doesn't mean you take it before a test or something like that, right? But like long term,
Yeah.
it helps
Yeah,
with
yeah.
overall blood flow and everything within your body.
Okay.
So 100%, I am an advocate for creatine.
Okay.
Whether you're powerlifting or trying to get stronger or not, I just think it's good for
It's
people
good
to
for-
take. Oh yeah,
okay.
definitely.
That's interesting.
And all other supplements, I'd say it depends on your goal, right? If you're going to come to me and you're like, hey, I want to gain muscle, sweet. Let's get you on creatine and protein.
Yeah.
Great. If you want to lose fat, then okay, let's get you on BCAAs and make sure you're obviously dialed down your nutrition. So that's as far as supplements go.
Yeah.
I like to keep it super simple: creatine, protein, BCAAs,
Yeah.
and then maybe.
Can we hit on that for just a sec?
Mm-hmm.
So for the people that are looking to lose, let's go both.
Yeah.
People looking to lose weight and then people that are wanting to gain muscle. What's your advice for the people that are wanting to lose the weight?
Yeah. If you want
Or
to
like tone up or get.
Yeah, the different goals. There's two main ones, right? Gain muscle, get more tone, right? A gaining of weight or lose weight. The only thing that's going to make the biggest difference is caloric intake. So what that means is how much food you're eating, right? You can work out till you're sick, but that's
Right,
it's just not going to be the biggest difference. So what I do is if you want to lose weight, I take your goal body weight. So let's say you're 200 pounds right now, but you want to be 180. Take your goal body weight and times it by 12. So 180 times 12. And then you're going to find around 2,000 calories is going to be what your deficit's going to be.
That's how you do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so now a little deeper on the weight loss side, just because some people it's good information, right?
Yeah.
1 pound of adipose tissue or fat equals 3,500 calories. So let's say if you're
It literally makes me want to write this down right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing this when I get home.
So to calculate your what's called maintenance calories, you'll take your current body weight and then times it by 16. And you can play around with it. You'll have to, everybody's metabolism is different, so just play around with it, but you'll be right around the ball range. So let's say your maintenance is 2,500 calories. If you're in a deficit of 2,000 calories, that means you have a 500 calorie difference, right? So to burn 1 pound of fat, which is 3,500 calories, that 500 divided by 35, so it's going to be 7 days for you to lose 1 pound of fat. So you can expect to lose 1 pound per week. And so you can just slowly lose the weight.
Okay, so this raises a question, and it goes to all the UFC fighters. Is it healthy to lose 10 pounds in 3 days?
I'll say what
Or
Conor,
more.
what Conor McGregor said.
Dude, understanding what they go through, dude, it doesn't seem healthy at all.
No, it's not. But Conor McGregor quote, he said, people are calling this unhealthy, but yet those same people are couch potatoes and they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
So who's more healthy? Conor McGregor and these fighters that are actually active doing stuff, or the critic? It's not healthy.
Keyboard warriors.
Does that make sense though?
Yeah, that makes sense.
By no means should they be doing that.
Right.
But it's just what they have to do for their sport. And but they have they put millions of dollars into their bodies and end up being fine.
Yeah. So what about the other side, gaining muscle? And I can tell you what I have a problem with, because I'm like trying to gain muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to gain more muscle. My issue is I don't eat. I forget to eat. I hate eating.
Really?
I just like, Yeah, if there's a psychology thing behind that, let me know because I'm trying to figure that out myself.
Yeah.
I
Well, we
just
just dig into your childhood and
okay.
all
Let's do it. Seriously,
Let's
we
do
can
it.
literally do it. I don't mind that.
that. Great.
But great.
Yeah,
I
let's
don't
do
know
it.
what I
Let's do it.
For me, it's like I just don't like taking the time out of my day to feed myself.
Do you do liquid calories?
I don't know what that is.
So try to drink your calories instead. So the same thing.
But what's good to drink though?
Yeah. So
Gatorade.
yeah, on the same. So to flow into this, so if your maintenance is 2,500 calories and you're in the deficit, but you want to gain muscle now you need to be getting sufficient protein.
Okay.
Which protein is the building block to be able to put on muscle, right? Your body will process protein just fine. I say 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per goal body weight. So I'll just say one gram of protein per goal body weight, pretty much. But you can be within that range. So if your goal is to be 200 pounds, you need to be eating 200 grams of protein per day. And that can be really hard to get in. So that's where I say
200 grams of protein.
200 grams of protein per day. Yeah. If you
want in my mind already, I'm like, that's a lot of eating. I don't know if I can. That's a lot. But is it that much, or am I just like making a big deal about it?
It actually is quite a bit of food. You definitely feel like.
Do you know who Alex
Harmozy?
There was like one reel that he had. He's like, yeah, if you get this protein milk and then you get the protein cereal and then mix it all together, you're already at 80 grams of protein. Dude, this is an entire bowl of cereal. I can't eat. It's an entire box, dude.
Yeah, it's like the whole box.
Yeah, I'm like, that's so much.
Have you seen his egg white one?
I haven't.
Dude, so he takes a carton of egg whites. That's 100 grams of protein total.
Did you chug it?
He takes Hershey syrup and mixes it into and then it tastes just like chocolate milk.
It does.
It tastes just like chocolate
Interesting.
milk.
Interesting. Egg whites, right?
Egg whites, yeah.
I think I could probably do it if I just made things like interesting and weird.
Yeah.
Not the normal eggs, protein bar.
Yeah.
Maybe I just get bored of that. I don't know.
So that's why I say drink your calories, like liquid calories of like protein shake but add peanut butter and add like as many calories as you can in a protein shake. And then ground beef, eat a pound of ground beef or half a pound of ground beef or.
Yeah. Do you know who Will Compton is? He's busting with the boys, Taylor Lewan and Taylor Compton.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a clip of him and he was like making some food with some guy. And he was just asking him, he was like, so do you eat better in college or the NFL? He's like breaking it down. He's like, yeah, it's a different game when you get into college, when you play college sports. He's like, you finally realize that eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at night before you go to bed probably isn't a good idea. Do you agree with that? Yes and no? Not those Uncrustables hit.
They do. They do. Again, it depends on your goal. Are you an elite athlete trying to perform at an elite level?
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
But if you're just a normal dude, just trying to get your last calories in for the day,
like why not? Yeah.
Well, go for it. Whatever.
Yeah.
No. But the most important thing is protein and total calories. So
gotcha.
You gotta force feed yourself sometimes if you want to gain muscle.
Okay, so I'm 215 right now.
Dang.
If I want to get to goal is 230. It's been this goal for 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got to 223 and then got sick and then I'm back.
Yeah.
10 pounds. That was like an awful.
Do you care about your body fat percentage?
I've never really.
Do you care if your abs are popping or if
I want my abs too?
Well, yeah, that's the hard part. To get
230 looking
physiques,
like
you just can't get unless you're taking steroids. But
do you have any right now? I'm just kidding.
Not on me, but we can go,
let's go.
later. Vasa parking lot, there's tons of.
Oh, dude, I bet.
Yeah, all over the place.
You can go to the bathroom. I mean, they're probably in there too.
Yeah,
somewhere.
One of my buddies, he's a trainer at EOS, and he says 80. He was like, look at me. He's 80% of these guys in here, they're all on.
That's crazy.
They're all on gear. Like they're all on gear.
That's crazy.
So that's the sad truth. But natural bodybuilding, you can get big. Just sometimes your genetics don't let you go much farther.
So I want to break down the psychology thing.
Which part of it?
My childhood and why I don't like to eat.
Why you don't like to eat?
But I want to ask one question before that.
Yeah.
I forget his name, but it's like you take these blood tests and it tells you like what your deficiencies in and then how you can capitalize on. You know what I'm talking about?
There are a lot of people to do that, but I know the person that made it famous was the guy that Dana White went to.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of his name.
Gary DeBrecca.
Yeah.
I hate him.
Okay.
Not kidding.
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Or is it like, do you disagree with what he's doing, or do you see any
His
validity?
blood work stuff is fine, but he just says so much out of pocket,
Gotcha. No.
true stuff
Okay,
that I'm
gotcha.
like, dude, that you're just okay. I'll say this: there is a barrier to health that the media has put up here. The barrier to be healthy. Right, you have to do red light therapy. You have to do cold plunge.
Oh.
You have to eat this food. You have to eat this food. You have to
The
eat
cold
this.
plunge thing, I can't
And
get
it's
behind.
up
I
here.
don't know if I can get behind it. I don't know if you agree, but
I love cold plunging.
Okay.
Actually, there's a lot of good benefits to cold plunging, but you don't
Well,
need
then
to
I'll
be
do
healthy. Right, the barrier's here, but the real barrier is actually like here.
okay.
Walk, eat healthy-ish at least, and just lift weights, and then get good sleep. Like, it doesn't have to be super crazy.
Yeah.
All the stuff that's up here is just marketing. And
That's
it's
what I was
people trying
literally
to
just
make money.
about to say that.
Right.
Yeah, the internet makes everything. It's just like on a hyper level where it's like you need to be doing all these things, like you're saying, which
Just
is
marketing.
which is crazy. Yeah, marketing. Yeah, but like the deficiency thing, is there a validity in that where that helps your health?
The
blood work.
Oh, yeah, getting your blood work done is great because you can see your hormone levels. You can see your. I'm not a blood work. I'm not a blood work expert.
I don't know if that tied in.
No, yeah, I can't really speak on blood work itself, but I know it's good.
Yeah,
like definitely get it done and get it looked at. I don't know anything about it personally.
Gotcha. Let's dive into the
childhood.
Yeah, if you don't have to.
No, absolutely.
You don't have to and I'm open to do it just because.
Yeah.
If it gets weird, I'm like, I don't know if I'll tell you, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't know if there's. That's a joke about the childhood thing. If it might be, but what is it that you feel like when you eat? Because like looking at you.
Yeah.
Did you have an eating disorder or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
No.
So what is it that you're like trying to look for an answer for?
I don't know. Just like, why is that a thing within me?
That
I just
don't want to keep eating?
I hate it. I hate taking time to do it. I hate in general. Like it's like I have to take time out of my day to do this right now.
So it's not the food thing, it's a time thing.
Yeah, and I don't find food interesting. Like, I like eating with people, but like the food itself, like I could look at a menu all day and not know what I want. Like, this just doesn't interest me.
It's like what is your favorite food? What is a food? Is there any, or is there none?
There's two things.
Two foods that you love.
Eggs and rice. I could eat that every day.
Eggs and rice. So you pick the most plain, bland food.
Plain, bland food. I mean, it's not bland if you use soy sauce, salt. Just
add everything else to it. Yeah, if I just cheese it up with guac and salsa and get everything in there, it's great.
I think, say I don't have a favorite food. I mean, that's
okay. But that is interesting that you're like, I don't really like food. Yeah. So there's a number of factors. So in psychology, we believe that we are the sum total of our thoughts, our emotions, and our behaviors, right? But everything begins with your thoughts. So the only thoughts that you've shared with me thus far have been that you don't want to take the time to eat.
Yeah.
So that's all that I know on my end. So what else is there? What other mental barrier is there that you think when you are not wanting to eat food?
I think it's like a body dysmorphia thing that I've had.
So that is a partial eating disorder then. Kind of, not really, but.
It's probably riding it, wouldn't you think?
Say that again?
Riding the line of eating disorder.
Yeah, definitely.
And here's where that kind of comes from though. As a kid, I've always been told like I'm skinny and super lurpy. That always messed with me, dude. Drove me nuts.
You're ripped now.
I think that's where I'm want to be as fit as possible, but then like I also, I don't know, it's like a weird situation I haven't really uncovered.
That is the three main common types of people that are in the gym are people that were skinny, trying to get bigger because they were bullied because they were skinny.
Yeah.
The people that were fat, trying to lose weight because they were bullied because they were fat, and then the people going through like a breakup or a hard time that are using it as a fuel their anger or whatever. So that's the gym side of it.
Here's where it's weird. Playing football in my life, I was always 1% over the weight limit, or 1 pound over the weight limit. Like I
to
had
be an X-Men.
Yeah, I had to lose weight, but then people, like parents, coaches, kids would say this, and I'm like, you don't understand. Like I had to lose a pound to be a receiver, not to be on the line to get my ass kicked.
Yeah, because you're still a little guy on the line. Okay, part of the thoughts of inadequacy from like childhood.
Yeah.
To be able to like, so that's why you go to the gym now. Part of the reason too is your divorce.
Yeah.
So that's a big psychological standpoint. So you have the football thing, you have the relationship thing. How does that tie into your eating though?
I don't want to be too big, but I don't want to be super skinny.
So are you scared when you see food?
No.
What other thoughts do you have when you like are eating, in the act of eating?
Another part of this, I just don't like the way some of the food makes me feel. There could be meals and it just makes me feel like shit after, literally.
So actually is the second thing. So your sum total is your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. So now feelings. So how do you feel before you're eating food?
I feel like I'm doing good.
Like what emotions do you have? Like when you're like you haven't started eating, you're about to start eating. Like you have food in front of you and you're about to eat.
Like why I don't want to be doing this right now.
So you're
like,
but what are you feeling? What emotion is there?
I don't know. There's like an emptiness. Like I don't have. Yeah, I don't.
So let's do this for a second, actually. So one of the things that I coach my clients on as well is bodily awareness of knowing where you feel emotions in your body and then mapping it out. Have you seen Lilo and Stitch?
Yeah.
You know the part where Lilo draws Stitch and has like, you are filled with this much anger.
Yeah.
This much good. That little drawing. Draw a diagram of your own body, right? Just a little stick figure, and then map out where you feel your emotions. So if you're okay with it, we can walk through a quick process of how you can find those. So be relaxed, be in a comfortable position. If you're comfortable, you can go ahead and close your eyes, get a couple of deep breaths in. And you can fast forward this part too. So go ahead and get 5 deep breaths. Just. What we're doing is called an induction technique, where you are relaxing your body. So as you're breathing, on your outward breaths, start with your feet. Now, as you breathe out, slowly just release any tension you feel inside of your feet. And then you're going to slowly start to move upwards. You're going to go to your calves. Feel all of the tension in your calves. And then as you breathe out, release all of that tension. You'll go up to your knees. As you breathe out, you release all of that tension. Go to your thighs. Release all of that tension as you breathe out. Get into your hips, your waist area where you're sitting, how you feel on the couch, and release all of that tension. Get into your core, your abs, your torso, how you feel with the arch of your back against the chair, and release all of that feeling, all of that tension. Get into your torso, your chest, your upper chest. Release all of that tension. Your shoulders, and your arms, and your biceps and triceps area, and release all of that tension. Get into your forearms and even your hands, each of your individual fingers. Feel the tension and then release it as you breathe out. Now go to your neck and release all of that tension. Get into your head and face and release that tension. You can go into your senses if you hear anything or smell anything. or see anything in your mind's eye, just release it all. You are nothing. You are nowhere, in no space and no time. Now you are in a position where you are about to have the emotion of emptiness, the feeling of being unworthy and not enough. Take that negative feeling and locate it inside of your body. Where do you feel it? Just take a note, mental note. We're going to walk through, we're going to finish this now. Go ahead and walk through that real quick. Feel where you're at. Now I want you to take that emotion and I want you to release it as you breathe out. If it helps, imagine yourself in a cloud, in a dark cloud. And as you breathe out light, you breathe out goodness and happiness. Breathe it all out. Get rid of that feeling of unworthiness. And now this is the most important part. As you breathe in that happiness and that joy and that peace, and have it fill the void of the space where you felt it inside of your body.
I think, I don't know, doing this exercise, I don't know if it's sadness or mad when it comes to this. And I don't know if this is the root. This is like the only thing I can think of, and it would make sense. I was adopted at 6 weeks old. Prior to that, I went through a situation where I was with my birth mom at birth. And then I was adopted to a different person. Then I was given up for adoption again to my now family. And help me through this. I think at some point between that 6 weeks, there had to have been something missed. And it could have been Mills. I don't know. I'm just assuming that's what it could be. Do you think that's
very possible? Yeah.
Tied in to the way I feel, the way I do about eating?
Yeah. So what that practice is called epigenetics, which is locating emotions and feelings and thoughts of your past within your body. So that's something that came up in your own thoughts. Yeah. Right. And you know your body. I don't know your body. Right. Yeah. So however it manifests itself. So that definitely could be it. I can't say for sure. You're the only one that knows.
I don't know what else that would be.
Yeah. Where did you feel it in your body though?
Stomach.
The feeling of emptiness, unworthiness in your stomach.
Yeah, stomach, yeah.
So that's where food goes, your stomach.
Yeah.
So I feel
like there's a pit.
Yeah, but it's here.
Down
here. Okay.
As center as you can go in this stomach.
Yeah.
It's right there, yeah.
See, and the audience, if they're walking through this practice, they're going to feel it somewhere else, right? I feel it in my heart, right? Some people feel it in their head.
Yeah.
You feel it where you need to feel it,
yeah.
Right? Where that emotion is for you.
Yeah. Interesting.
So a really quick note
yeah.
on that practice. So there's 3 steps: induction, which is relaxing the body. Yeah. And then recognition of a negative emotion inside of your body. You need to get rid of that negative emotion. But here's my caution. Don't ever leave the emotion that you feel in your body, don't ever leave it empty. Because if it's empty, that negative emotion will come back worse than it did before. So that's why at the end I was like, we need to make sure that we breathe in some happiness, some joy, some peace. Yeah. You have to make sure that you replace that with something positive, so that through time, that's a practice that anybody can do, to take 2 minutes, 5 minutes,
And do that.
and
Yeah.
but do the same one.
It's the
Right.
first time I've had that. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. My mind's racing.
Yeah.
Because now I think doing this, how much of this has affected my kids unconsciously. You know what I mean?
But now,
I
change.
know it can. And do I know what that looks like? No, I'd have to think about this
Yeah.
and figure that out.
It's a process, right? It's a journey.
A process.
It's a
Yeah.
journey. It's a journey.
Yeah. But
That's cool. And I could see your face too, that you really could feel
yeah,
those
I
emotions.
was about to cry.
Yeah. It's powerful.
Dude, as soon as it got to my calves, it was like, it's either one of these two feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just like, from then on up, it was like, what is the root of this? Because my parents now, I never skipped a meal. Like, that's the only thing I can think of.
Well, now you can work through it.
Yeah.
Right. Keep doing that practice. Yeah. And over time, it'll get better and better. And then you move on to your next emotion. The next emotion, the next thing. I don't believe in chakras or anything like that.
Yeah.
But there is some truth to them, because your endocrine system, so your body, your endocrine system is lined up with 9 main glands. And guess where the glands are? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Oh, it just goes up in a line.
Yeah.
Where are chakras? They're in that same line. So a lot of it has to do with your emotion. Start down low, and then start to move your way up. And as you get up, you're gonna just notice that the emotions get stronger and keep going.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
If you want to take just 2 minutes and just break down what you do, invite people to come in, be mentored by you. If you want to look at the camera or however you want to do it.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, I have a community that anybody can go in. You can get all of this help. It's called the MindFit Tribe. If you go to school.com, skol.com/MindFit Tribe, you can get all of my coaching information for free on there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right on. Thank you. I appreciate you coming today, taking your time out of the day.
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
And you're welcome.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the little coaching session here. Yeah. I definitely need to take this in and do it every day and kind of just do this practice.
Yeah.
I think it'll benefit me.
I reminded myself that I need to start doing it again.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, I got to do this again. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Bam.
Dude, that was great.
That was awesome.
You're fantastic, dude.